Hi there and welcome to a new tutorial from me, Mark. This time I will not make a tutorial flight, I will do a tutorial of the FMC or the FMS. The FMC stands for Flight Management Computer and FMS is for Flight Management System. You can say whatever you like. I'm going to show you how to put in all the information for your flight. We are currently at Copenhagen Airport, or Kastrup Airport in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm just going to make a flight to Stockholm, to Arlanda. I'm not going to fly the flight. I'm just going to show you how to prepare the FMC. Okay, so here we have the FMC. The first thing I always do, I would like to find out how much fuel I need for the flight. I use a program called, or it's not a program, it's a site on the internet. I'm gonna show you. Here we have it. It's called Fuel Planner. It's a very good site for you to find out how much fuel you need. So first of all, as you all know, I'm flying the 737-800 PMDG NGX. So I'm just gonna press it there, and then where we are and where we're going to, and then planner. So here we have the fuel on board. Fuel usage will be 5,370 pounds and the reserve fuel will be 6,099 pounds. So that gives us a total amount of 11,469 pounds. We're using kilograms, so we need to convert. The thing that I do, I only divide it by 2. It should be close enough. So around about what should I say, 6,000 kilos, a little bit less. We can take a 5.7. So we have 5.7, so I'm gonna go to fuel, enter 5.7 tons. Okay, here we have in payload. To go to this site you need to press menu and then FS action. So there we have fuel, payload, etc. So payload, you can change how many passengers you would like on the flight and the cargo. You can see that the load level is 99.7. We can have it that way on this tutorial. That gives us a general weight of 68.4. You need to remember that figure. Then we're gonna go to the init ref page. Here we go. And here we're gonna put in the where we are. If the LCD screens is not lit up, that's because of the IRSs is not activated. So the IRSs should stand on nav, which it does right here, and then we should enter the position, and we do it on pos init. But we can't do it now because I've already entered it. So where we are at Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. We don't need to put in the gate number. We go to route. You can see the Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel is already in the scratch pad. Just gonna press here to paste it in the origin, and where we are going, we're going to to Arlanda. The flight number, we don't need to put in the flight number, but just for fun we can press in Delta Yankee 3640, like so. The runway in use, I'm using another program. If there's aren't any ATIS, we can use another site called, I'm just going to show you. Go to Google and type runway in use, and then where we are, Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel, and then we take the first one. It's planemad.com. So here we have all the information. So we got the QNH, we got the wind, we got the temperature, the runway in use. So today the runway will be to right. So we're gonna put in the runway to right, like so. You can see it came up here on the navigation display. The next, and then we are totally fine here. So we're gonna go to the next page, and now the important thing, we're gonna enter a flight plan. I'm a member of Virtual Norwegian, so we get the flight plan from there. But if you aren't a member in Virtual Airline, you can go to Route Finder. That's also a good website. So where we are, where we're going to, and flight level of 330, find route. So hopefully, so here we have the route here. I know this is an old website. You can see 2005 to 2007. So I'm just going to compare it with the Virtual Norwegian's website. So you can see it's Payload installed. So we're gonna go with this one. So I just enter these here. So the first one is KMAX. So I enter KMAX, and then it should be pasted into where it says 2, like so. You can see it came here. And then the next one was November 851. So I'm gonna enter November 851. Eight 851, like so. And then I'm gonna paste it in under direct, like so. And then the next one, Pelub, like so. And then Zulu 226, and finally Nilug. Like so. So now we can activate our route or route. So I'm going to activate, and then you can see if I can just move a little bit to the left, so it doesn't really matter. We can go back. I can remove the speed brake. No, I couldn't remove it fully. But you're gonna press execute, like so, and now you can see it's already in the navigation display. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna press the DIP and R, that stands for departure and arrival. So we gotta go to departure. So here we have all the runways and the departures. A departure is a waypoint that makes us go a little bit further away from the airport, so a lot of aircrafts can start from the same runway. So I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna press runway to right, and then our first waypoint which was Kemax. So we say it says Kema for Charlie. That's the one to use. You can see there's no one else named Kema. So I'm gonna press that one. Now you can see here. I'm gonna press execute. And you can see it changed. So now I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. It's too big. So now you can see we're going this way instead of a direct turn. So that's the correct departure. Then we should always try to put in as much information as possible. So I'm gonna find the runway for Arlanda. So the same here. Here you can see light rain, and this is quite interesting. You can see it says it has a direct crosswind. Then it's pretty hard to know which runway that's in use. So then I'm going to my other app, Flight Radar 24, and see which runway that they are using right now. So it's easier. So they are using runway 08 for takeoff. So then we're gonna go to dip and arrivals again, and then press arrival. Then we're gonna go for, oh sorry, they are landing on runway 19 right, and they are departing from runway 08. So 19 right, gonna press runway 19 right, and then we're gonna look up our final waypoint, which was Nilug. See here we have a 1 Nilug 1 Papa and Nilug 1 November. I'm gonna change here so you can see. I'm gonna go up to Nilug here. Here we go. And then we can go one step more. Here we go. So here we have the final waypoint and then the runway. So we're going to come from this side. So I'm going to choose arrival. See if we can zoom in a little bit. So it's 19 right. I'm going to go for Nilug 1 November. Now you can see we have, I'm going to execute it just so you can see it a little bit better. We're gonna make it a little bit smaller, like so. And then we're gonna go and press legs and then step. And here we have the whole flight. So here you can see that we've now made a complete left turn into runway 19 right. So now we are finished with that. So now we can go to the init ref page. I'm just gonna turn off there. So we're gonna go to the init ref, and here we're gonna put in the amount of weight. I've already forgotten the weight, so it's 68.4. So I'm gonna put in 68.4. So it gives us a zero fuel weight of 62.6. We should have 2 tons of reserve. And then the cost index for Norwegian is 15. And here you can see it says flight level 373. That means that's the highest we can go with the amount of fuel and amount of passengers and luggage. But we are not going that high. We're just going to flight level 330, like so. And one thing you should always do is try to put in the course wind. I'm using Opus, so I can get it up here. So it's 33024. 33024. The ESA deviation is pretty interesting to calculate. The ESA deviation is where we are right now, and it's 15 degrees outside. I can show you later time how to calculate the ESA deviation, but I know right now that it is 0. So I'm not gonna change anything there. The transition altitude is 5,500 feet for Copenhagen. So I'm gonna enter it like so. So now that's all sorted there. So now I'm gonna press the N1 limit. So this page there, we can control how much engine power we're gonna use. If we have a very short runway, we might be using 101%, and if we have a long, we can do a derated takeoff. So I'm not gonna do a derated takeoff today, so it's only 94.6%. And then go to takeoff, and we should always use flaps 5. So I'm gonna press there. Then I'm gonna double click on the CG here. It's central gravity 2 times. So you get a CG of 24.1%, and that makes us the trim of 5.21. So I'm gonna enter the trim here. You can see, like so. So now I've entered the trim. Now you can see here we have the speeds. So we have the V1 speed, VR speed, and V2 speed. So that's all sorted right now. I think I've shown you all. Then we have a few other pages as well. We have the climb out page, where we can change if we don't have a speed restriction. It's always a speed restriction under 10,000 or flight level 100, and it's 250 knots. It can happen that the controller gives you no speed restriction, and then you just can delete the speed restriction. Press delete, and then so now I've deleted the speed restriction. So it's gonna go to 296 knots when we climb. You can change that as well if you like. Then you just press a number, let's say 270 knots, and then slash, and then paste it in. Oh, sorry, without a slash, like so. So now we have changed our speed, and we need to execute it. When it's filled out like this, you need to execute, but I'm not going to change that. So then we have the cruise page. You can change how fast you would like to fly. It says 0.756 Mach here. You can change that as well, like just 0.780, like so. And now execute. So now I've changed the speed to 0.780. We also have a descent page. You can see that we have the top of descent. You can see that it's 236 nautical miles to our top of descent. You can actually see that already. Here, I'm gonna show you. Make it a little bit smaller, like so. Then we go to step. So here we have the top of climb. So here we are at our cruise level of 330. and here we'll be commencing our descent. So there's a few things that we need to do before we get to our top of descent. I usually say about 40 nautical miles before the top of descent. I'm gonna enter a few things here. So I'm going to the descent page, forecast page, and the transition level. I'm gonna look up the transition level for Arlanda, just so we make this correct. Hopefully I can find it. It seems that I can't find it right now. I don't know why exactly. It should say on the charts here. Oh, okay, I found it here. The transition altitude is 5,000, so that's correct here, flight level 050. This we will only use if we are using anti-ice, but we won't be using anti-ice. So here we have the ESA. So it's the same thing here. We need to calculate the ESA, and we have 12 degrees. So the ESA will be -3, and the QNH is 0999. So I'm gonna enter 0999, like so. So that's one thing. Then we're gonna enter the altitude of flight level 300, 200, and 100. And now we're gonna need the wind direction and speed. So I'm gonna use the Opus again. We can see upper. You should know, as I said earlier, you should do this when you're about 40 nautical miles from the airport. But I'm gonna show you here. It's where the winds are right here. So it's 166 and 24, and it's 166 18. And we're gonna go to the lower one, and it's 012 and 16. So now that's all sorted. The reason why we do this is because the FMC needs to calculate when the top of descent will be, and it helps if we put this in. I mean, if we have a lot of headwind, our descent maybe will begin later, because we have a lot of headwind, so we can go in a steeper rate of descent. So I'm gonna execute like so. I don't know how to get back that nice color. So that's all you need to know about that. So this will get you pretty far on the FMC. If you have any other questions, just leave a comment and I will try to answer it for you. So hope you have enjoyed it, and I will be looking forward to see your comments. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.